Good day and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to speculate a little bit about what the worldwide celebration is going to be. Remember, this is the first joint celebration of the unification. So I'm going to go through the three hints. But I think it's fairly obvious if I'm being honest. But there's a couple things I want to highlight that I just believe, but it's always fun to speculate. But so if we look at this first clip, you'll see that there's this kind of image, this little dot, spectacle, cloud, satellite, whichever term you want to use, traveling across the sky. Now, one thing I will state, in these images, it definitely looks like it could be either a space pod or it could be a Nimbus. I think that's generally the speculations that people are going for. Now, Nimbus appeared a lot in OG Dragon Ball, but it appears a lot like throughout the show. And Gohan is riding Nimbus even up to the Majin Buu saga. Goku rides Nimbus a lot in some of the OG Z movies. So there's definitely a very good chance that Nimbus doesn't specifically mean OG Dragon Ball. To me, also in the first clip and the second one that's about to show up, it looks a lot more like it is a space pod than it is a Nimbus, just because of the direction that it's flying, kind of towards the ground. And you'll see here that there's yellow lightning and then obviously a flash of a person. Whereas in this clip, the latest one they released, I think you can very clearly see that this is now Nimbus. And I believe there's even the sound of Nimbus that kind of shows up. So, like, a lot of very good, vague kind of hints. But I think for me, the first two clips are showing a space pod. And I think they're showing a space pod landing. Now, I think this could be Broly from Resurrection Movie 2, or Broly Movie 2, when he comes back to be revived. I think then the next clips are Gohan traveling towards him. Whether on the Nimbus or not. Could also be OG Dragon Ball. Could also be, Demon King Piccolo arrived with yellow lightning. Now, I think the three main suspects are definitely OG Dragon Ball. I think, with Daima coming out, obviously, we've never really had a true big OG Dragon Ball celebration. We had, Piccolo Jr. and Goku from the Worldwide celebration that was really, really fun. But we've never had a big OG Dragon Ball celebration. Not really a better time than now to get people into OG Dragon Ball or Daima. I think they'll probably announce a remake of OG Dragon Ball was leaked or mentioned at some point. Saiyan Saga's also up there. Saiyan Saga on its own is great, and there is tons of options still with Saiyan Saga, but I never feel like they really want to sell on the Saiyan Saga, like go in deep. There's just kind of Nappa, Raditz, Vegeta. What would be interesting is they could pair a Saiyan Saga with a Frieza Namek Saga. So part 1 Saiyan Saga, part 2 Frieza Namek Saga, which would kind of make sense traditionally if you know. Generally, worldwide celebrations have kind of been two-parters. So like the Cooler one was Cooler arriving, and then the second part was Metal Cooler, which was obviously like a big thing, but it's not always been that way, but it has kind of felt that way for a little bit, where they kind of build on from part 1 into part 2, so same with like the future kind of stuff, I guess. But yeah, in reality, I would probably say, at least for me, like overall, I'd probably have to say I think it's probably movies. People don't like to hear that. I think people don't like to hear superhero as a movie. But I think it is probably movies. I think it is going to be OG Broly, for sure. There's lots of stuff, whether it's from Resurrection Broly or OG Broly movie, that we still don't have. We still don't have like a straight Super Saiyan 2, we don't have like a straight LR Broly. Like base form Broly that turns all the way through the legendary Super Saiyan. Tech Broly can get an easy A. There's lots of stuff that can happen. So I'm of the mind where I think it could be Broly, just off of the notion that, the way it's kind of framing itself up to be. it, yeah, Broly would kind of suit everything. Legends also traditionally is very close to Dokkan, and they just got Broly.